Janis Joplin, the queen of rock and roll, lived a secret love story. But if she'd come out with her lesbian relationship, could it have helped her fight off addiction and rewrite her legacy? Hi, I'm Chris with a K, and welcome back to the channel. This week in queer history, we're diving into the unconventional life of Janis Joplin, born on January 19th, 1943. She had groundbreaking music, and she also had an untold love story with Peggy Caserta, a relationship that would have celebrated the counterculture revolution of the 1960s. So let's explore this queer icon and her untold secret relationship.
This week in queer history, stories told with love and glee.
Janis Joplin was born in Port Arthur, Texas in 1943. Despite being an outcast in her conservative hometown, her rebellious nature paved the way for her rise as a rock legend. Joplin became the face of the counterculture movement, blending blues, rock, and soul into her unforgettable sound. Songs like Piece of My Heart and Me and Bobby McGee made her a household name. In 1966, she met Peggy Caserta, a boutique owner and prominent figure in San Francisco's Haight-Ashbury scene. Their relationship, while not traditional, was groundbreaking for its openness in a world where queer love often stayed hidden. Their bond reflected the liberating spirit of the 1960s, but was also marked by struggles with substance abuse and societal judgment. But could their love overpower addiction? Janis and Peggy first met in 1966 at a performance by Big Brother and the Holding Company. Peggy, captivated by Janis's raw talent, welcomed her into her boutique, Nasadika, which became a hub for counterculture fashion in San Francisco. Their relationship defied labels. While openly queer, they embraced the free love ethos of the era, maintaining an open and carefree bond. Both women struggled with substance abuse, which simultaneously bonded and burdened their relationship. This challenge mirrored the broader pressures of fame and the counterculture lifestyle. Caserta later reflected on their time together in her memoirs, shedding light on the complexities of the relationship and Janis's unapologetic embrace of her true self. Sadly, on October 4th, 1970, Joplin died of a heroin overdose, possibly compounded by alcohol. Janis Joplin was a force, a raw, unapologetic, wild voice in a time when women weren't expected to be anything but polished and proper. Her music, her style, her very presence defied convention. She sang her pain, her joy, and her truth in a way that demanded you feel it too. But what resonates with me most about Janis isn't her music, it's her life. She loved and lived fiercely and boldly, even in secret. Her relationship with Peggy Caserta, though hidden, was real. But those secret loves, those whispered moments in the dark, combined with addiction, often come with a heavy cost. I know that cost all too well. In college, I found myself in a secret relationship too. It was the end of my first year of college, and I found myself in a group of friends who frequented fraternity parties. Weekend after weekend of red Solo cups and thumping music. One party night, with only a month left before summer break, I was sitting on an old tan and brown scratchy couch, the kind that have the threads that are thick as yarn. So there I am when Russell Kennedy, one of the fraternity elite, walked over to me. Russell was put together, light shirts, buttoned up, so tidy. And he said, "Fitzgerald, you're taking me home." And he said it loud enough so that everyone in the room could hear. Little freshman me couldn't believe it. This was my in. This was Russell Kennedy, and he had chosen me. So we got into my old gray Subaru Outback and left the chaos of the party behind us. And I started spewing small talk, just nervous and eager to impress him. And street after dark street, we drove closer to his apartment. But as we neared his driveway, through his tequila breath, he told me to keep driving. He wanted me to keep driving. And with me, So I kept driving and blabbing about anything that popped into my mind, only to be interrupted intermittently with his slurred directions. 20 minutes and we ended up on a dark dirt road near the airport. The tarmac's lights, low and steady out from the front windshield. I slowed, parked, and turned off the engine, and everything became quiet. And out of the darkness, Russell spoke. His voice was low and steady and laced with that sour smell of Patron. "You're different. You're not like other guys." And I fixed my gaze on a distant plane readying to take off, and my throat clenched tight. And then he added, "It's okay, you can tell me." And after 4 or 5 held breaths, I said, "Yeah, I'm different." His hand crossed the divider and touched my knee, and that night we had sex. And it wouldn't be the last. But this wasn't a love story. Russell ignored me in public, on campus, and I played along. I pretended that I was still the little freshman that should be so honored to be noticed by him. And yet, weekend after weekend, at the end of the night, "Fitzgerald, you're driving me home." And every time we'd end up at that same dirt road, same alcohol-tainted whispers, same emptiness when I would crawl into my own bed. But when the semester ended and I was heading home for summer break, I swore to myself that I would change this insane pattern, that I would come out, that I would never be used again, never hide myself to make others happy. So that summer I did. I came out to everyone, my friends, my siblings, my parents. And when I returned to college that next fall, I was different. A little more out and a little more proud. But then homecoming happened, and I found myself on that same scratchy couch with that same loud music. And sure enough, Russell Kennedy found me too at the end of the night. "Fitzgerald, you're taking me home." But this time I looked at him and I took one even breath and I said, "Not tonight, Russell." And I drove myself home that night, and I'm certain that that changed my life forever. Janis Joplin's life reminds me of that journey, of the cost of hiding and the power of saying no. She was so bold in some parts of her life, and yet her relationship with Peggy Caserta was a secret for so long. Had she been able to truly be herself without the pressures of society, would she have found a way through and beyond addiction? I know I would be in a very different place if I hadn't changed my path. Sometimes saying no to someone else means saying yes to yourself. So what does Janis Joplin's story mean to you? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear them. And if you want more queer history, click this video right over here and sign up for our mailing list. Link is down in the description. Every Monday, you'll get a dose of uplifting queer history to inspire your week. Until next time, stay strong, stay bold, and keep making history.